Yo, it's Go, and welcome to the video. This is the first boss in Sunwell, Kalecgos. I don't think that the logs are going to work for this boss. I don't think it's going to count towards the parse, since when you go into the Shadow Realm phase, whatever you want to call it, if the person that's running the logs isn't in there with you, then they're not going to record your damage or anything that's going on. So, this might be kind of like ROS, where it's kind of like a fun parse to get. But if you can get a parse on this fight, and it somehow does count, I think this will be how we should try to get it. We have to get lucky, of course, right? We have somebody already in the Spectral Realm. We would want to be in the second group that goes into the Spectral Realm. So there's already a tank down there with threat established, and you can immediately pop all cooldowns and do as much DPS as possible. Another thing that would help tremendously is if right before we went in, we got a wild magic. We would want the white scale debuff that increases the damage done by critical hits by 100%. Is that ever going to happen? Probably not. But to the lucky Boomkins that do get that to line up right before they're taking the portal, they'll be able to really get some damage done. So I say they're going to be the lucky ones because most likely you're not going to be popping cooldowns on Kalecgos up top, because there's so many more players up top. There's more DPS being done. Kalecgos is going to be dying faster than the Spectral Realm boss. So I was in the third group to go to the Spectral Realm. I'm just going to pop the normal Fair Tire, Moonfire, Skull of Gul'dan, and pump for 20 seconds. There are a couple curses going out. It's not too bad on this phase right now. I come back a little bit towards the end of the fight, and there's a lot more curses to deal with at that point. But the first time I went in, not that bad. You want to let them run out at least past half of the duration, and then you can decurse. So I didn't use a Destropot down here, but I think after a week or two, once the guild gets the boss down easily, should be able to use a Destropot because DPS should be a lot faster. Shouldn't have to worry about popping mana pots, especially if it comes to where this boss down here, Sathravar, is dying slower and you have to hold DPS up top. Then you're just going to be standing up top regenerating mana. And that's the main thing, is I think being in that second group to go down, pop all your cooldowns, and then be able to go back, have all your cooldowns back up, and pop all cooldowns again. Even if you don't get that wild magic, I think is going to let you do the most DPS. If you're in the first group, that's not too bad. At least you should be able to get 2 full durations down there. You might have to hold back a little bit on the first one while the tank establishes threat and everything down there. So number 2 is the sweet spot. Number 3 is just a little late. It might work out if you're having a longer fight to start with. But eventually I think group 3 is that goes down is only going to be down there once. So that's the fight. Nothing too crazy strategy-wise. I will link a video to Jordy's boss fight. He goes over the mechanics of the fight really well, so you can use that video, use this video, take all that information together, and try to do as much damage as you can. Both bosses have to die at the same time, so we end up getting Sathravar down first, and we're just kind of stuck down here in this realm. The boss becomes immune to damage, and then finally they get teleported back up, and Kalecgos has like 2% left and dies. As you can see, my mana is not too bad. I didn't even pop Innervate the whole fight. It just didn't work out that I was with the mage, really. And my mana pot has been off of cooldown for a while. I could have popped a Destropot down here for my second time. And for the first time, I have Rune available too if I did need mana. So if you have haste gear, I would suggest using haste gear on this fight over crit gear, just because you want to pop all you can in that minute that you're down there in the Spectral Realm. Haste does make you go out of mana quicker, but on this fight shouldn't be an issue. So slap on all that haste gear and go to town. And I'll see ya in the Brutalis fight.